Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSports. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. And since it's Friday and we're tired, and Andy and I don't really feel like talking that much, and I might even get interrupted at some point during the middle of the show, we've hit a third man, Mr. Matthew Rooney here. Gentlemen, how are we doing? We all look nice. We all tighten up our beards here. We're looking pretty good.
I don't think either of us are doing as well as you. You're in Vegas.
The weather's pretty nice here. It is Friday, and we had some good games last night.
That Kansas State-Michigan State game was unreal.
One game sucked major ass. Like UConn just got off the bus, and apparently they had a bigger hoop than the other team, or something along that. They're shooting like 65%. It's like, well,
hotel arrangements revenge.
I'm done. I'm done watching this one, and luckily I did pay more. I was more excited about that one, truth be told. And it's funny because then I turned my entire focus to the Michigan State game, which turned out to be, like Matt just said, a kind of an instant classic. Noel is a freak. We knew that coming in. He broke his ankle and still dished like 20 assists. He was something. The one with the reverse dunk late was crazy. Overtime was fun. The game was great. And then capped it off with maybe an even better. Nah, it wasn't better. It was still very good, though. The Gonzaga UCLA rematch, three-match, whatever you want to call, like that lived up to the hype as well. So some pretty good stuff. And just like we thought too, the other one was going to be a defensive grind. I'm not 100% sure they got to 100 points in the Tennessee game, which is I wish I'd just lumped in a little more on that under. I think that was pretty low. They did. Well, Dan's telling me
pretty close.
It was like a buck 10.
The Gonzaga game was the big game at the book. I guess everybody had Gonzaga underdog tickets because I walked by at one point at halftime. UCLA is up by a dozen. Everybody looked sad. And I came back for the end, and the noise when that three-pointer went in was just fantastic.
A joyful noise. Yeah. No, it's fun. We get to do it all again tonight. And then Saturday and Sunday, more action, which is very exciting. So Final Four next week, followed up by baseball starts and the Masters.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
It's a big week next week.
Actually, baseball starts next week.
Ugh.
And that
don't ick me. Don't ick baseball. Come on.
Baseball's a lot more fun in October.
We get a lot of day baseball in March.
Final Four.
So that's a positive.
Yep. And then the Masters.
We love day baseball on this show.
Also, contest. I don't have a graphic today, but I'll do it next week. We'll put up a fun graphic to make the graphic will make it more fun, but we will have a fun Masters contest you can enter and win a pretty damn good prize. More news on that next week, but let's fire off some wagers. I did bet on tonight's game. I'm expecting a little. I know they get. I mean, I guess I'm going to say it was hyperbole, even though for a second, I'm like, did they get to 100 points? I feel like one team scored like 50. But, yeah, maybe similar. Somebody called in one of the chats called SDSU Walmart Bama. Like, a little hurtful, I guess, that team. And I do like them to stay inside the number. I like them to cover, especially anyone who was able to kind of catch the highest part of that number was there was an 8. That was probably a pretty good grab by you. But I did take this under as well. I like both defenses. I think we're a little focused in on the fact that we have an NBA player in this and not the fact that both teams play pretty good defense. Both teams play just smart basketball. And I think we have a little bit of a grinded out here. This totals up to 137.5. I'll have a little bit on the under. And if it wins, I'll probably parlay that into a night game. I'm excited about maybe the Princeton over, honestly. 141. You kind of got to roll it. I think Princeton, this might be the end of the road. Creighton, though. Creighton with the nice draw. Let's go Blue Jays. I know. It's a whole thing. And obviously, I won't be betting the final game of the nightcap. I already have a lot of exposure on Texas just to win the whole damn thing. I would like to see them. So, yeah, let's go Miami. I think that's probably a better matchup. And then let's go Texas into the regional final. That'll make Sunday a lot more interesting for me. But we're still gambling today. I don't even know what order I put stuff in. When we go on StreamYard, I never remember what order we're on.
Looks like you got NBA coming up next.
The NBA.
I think I like this pick, judging from the graphic I can see.
You should be pretty happy with this.
Yes. Even after Wednesday's performance?
We'll see. It's tough, and we'll talk about that in a second. There's 10 games tonight, And I don't know if I've ever been more disappointed by a 10 games late. There is 10 games. I think there's maybe one or two where we actually know who's playing or there's some sort of horrible rest spot here. So we'll start with the Pacers against the Celtics. I would love to bet the Pacers plus 12 here, but it looks like Halliburton might not play. The Wizards are 8-point favorites over the Spurs. No Bradley Beal. I'd like to bet the Spurs, but we're not betting the Spurs on the road this late in the season. Pistons, Raptors. The Pistons are a mess. They're on the road here. Thought about maybe an under in that spot, but again, it's just happy to pass over that. The next up, the Rockets and the Grizzlies. We don't know really what the impact of John Morant being back is at this point, and the Rockets are on the road. So you could lay 13 points at the Grizzlies, but that sure as hell doesn't sound very fun. The Hornets and the Mavericks. We know no LaMelo. Not really sure who's playing for the Mavericks, so you have to wait there. The Milwaukee Bucks are 9.5-point favorites in Utah. Utah sitting everyone. So as hard as it is to back the Bucks team, that it'll probably rest some guys tonight. I think you probably end up with maybe a little bit of CLV on Utah if you grab the 9.5 now, but you're not going to like that. At no point is that going to be fun, and I'm not sure it'll be value unless really Giannis sits, which he probably won't. The Sixers-Warriors game should be a lot of fun, but no clue who's playing for the Sixers, so you have to wait there. Suns-Kings will be a pretty great game. That one is actually one of the 2 or 3 that settled, but came out kind of right on my numbers. Thought about maybe an under there, but under in Kings games have been rough. The Thunder, 5.5-point underdogs. The Lakers, terrible schedule spot for the Thunder, so we'll pass there and bet on Matt's Chicago Bulls. The Bulls tonight, 2.5-point favorites on the road in Portland, and this is a nice combination of my numbers. Really like this spot. I had this closer to 4 instead of the 2.5 that you're looking here, and we now have 2 teams moving in totally opposite directions. The Trailblazers seem to be shutting it down. If you're even close to injured, you're out. Anthony Simons hasn't played in a couple weeks. Looks like the injury report's filling up with some more names there. And the Bulls, although it's probably a 50-50 shot DeRozan plays, he may be in, he may be out, are doing their absolute darndest to try to make this play in, to try to push their way up into the playoffs and get some sort of a postseason going here. Maybe we'll have play-in champ favorite teams here on the Brown Bag Bets. Timberwolves, Bulls. I wonder if we get them in the same plan. I don't think that's how that works, but just love this spot here for the Bulls. And I know it can be tough to back them as favorites on the road, but I, again, had this closer to 4.5. And one team is trying to win this game. The other team, maybe not so much. So let's go Bulls.
Yeah, I like that with how the Bulls been playing as of late. They kind of laid an egg and were a no-show against Philly. But before that, I mean, they won 3 in a row, and they've been playing pretty decent basketball.
Let's take a look at the standings here. I know the Bulls bet we made mid-season is
not going well.
What was your bet mid-season?
Under
36.5, I think. So
yeah,
I don't remember the numbers, but it's not going to end well.
Yeah, I believe the Blazers number I got was under 41.5.
That looks fine.
For the regular. So I know it looks fine, but I do believe this is a clincher. This would be their 41st loss, which means at best a win out would be 41-41. So this could be it for my Blazers bet. It wasn't mine. I mean, I didn't originate it. It was the one I liked the most out of the ones that Alex had at the beginning of the year, and I put the most money on. There's always one of those where it's like, I like this one the best, and I pick it and I cultivate it and I think about it all year. So go Bulls, I guess. Fucking cheering for the Bulls.
Hey, thanks, Andy. It's nice of you.
And if they lose, well, and if they win, at least cover the 3. Don't find me in a stupid middle like that. That would be bad.
I think they should.
They should avoid the middle.
Yeah. All right. Match play is underway, and if you think you know anything about golf, this is a good event to just kick you in the face and tell you don't, because Jordan Spieth playing very good golf. We've seen highlights of him. Shane Lowry plays like shit for the last, month. 0-2, eliminated from the tournament. He's up 5 holes on Jordan Spieth through 9.
Match play is the best.
Match play.
I do love match play.
Very, very, very fickle. It's not the same kind of golf. It's not, hey, you had a blow up hole and your day's over. No, you had a blow up hole, you're still 2 up. Like, it doesn't matter. And there's a lot of weird stuff that's gonna happen. In fact, we already had a concession hit Matsuyama with the neck injury pulled out, which worked out nice for me. I bet a Max Homa future. Max Homa is in to the Sweet 16 now, buddy. We are in. He won his group at 3-0. I really feel like he'd have beat Matsuyama anyway. I'm not sure that matters. Sam Burns, 2-0. He's looking to go 3-0 here with Seamus Power. That'd be a good one, as he is my one and done in a couple of events. I'm trying to think if there's another one that actually matters to me. Tyrrell Hatton is dead. That stinks, but he had the injury. I think Jason Day is going for a 3-0. He's tied with Morikawa through 2. I do have Jason Day to win the group. I feel like he needs this one to get it done. So let's go Jay Day. I did bet another bit of a long shot here, kind of just based on yesterday's performances too. This was a big price as well. And it is Keegan Bradley over Rory McIlroy. Rory's playing great. Yes, he's fine. Very good golfer. But as we've seen with some of these top notch golfers, match play does level the playing field a little bit. You can't just run away with it because it's an easy course and you're just better at making your way to the green with 375-yard drives like that. Doesn't matter how, eagles don't matter. I guess they do it sometimes. There was in the Minwoo Sahith one, there was a chip in eagle to win a hole after the other guy had already birdied or something, I believe.
That's tough.
That's a tough one.
That's tough.
Yeah, based on the play yesterday, I did have Keegan a lot closer than this. I think this should be like minus 125. Excuse me, plus 125 for Keegs. I got plus 158 over at Bookmaker a little bit ago. This starts in a while. I think you got a little time on this. Only look for me today. I'll mostly just, like I said, be cheering on Jason Day. If you watch the golf show, I bet him to win the group at like plus 185. I bet him to win the whole damn thing at 30-1. So winning the group is very important to winning the whole thing. It is literally the only way to advance. So let's go, J-Day.
Is the Hideki neck injury anything worth being concerned about for the Masters? Or is it more of a precautionary thing, you think?
Yeah, I mean, he was out of it already. I mean, it was
Okay.
kind of a, hey, I'm good. I'm all right, just not playing here. He was 1-1. I think maybe he could have found his way into a playoff if he won, and because there's no like tiebreakers. But yeah, the injury is something that's been ongoing for him. I think he's just playing it safe because it's match play. Yeah, I wouldn't bet him at Augusta though. I certainly don't think.
I wasn't planning on betting him at Augusta, but won a couple years ago. Didn't know if it was going to affect him being there or not.
Yeah, I think he'll play. I just I don't think he'll play all that effectively. He hasn't been great. So, all right. Well, as I've said once, I'll say it again. Let's skate on over to the NHL. I've been watching. It's college hockey season, buddy.
Oh, it is.
We got Gophers Huskies tonight or tomorrow. I don't know.
Head on over. Actually, we'll plug it. Head on over to Bleacher Nation. Tab does a great job of covering the Frozen Four and stuff. He's a big Michigan hockey fan, so I think he's watching those games with a pretty close eye, and he's been covering them mainly from a Blackhawks prospect perspective. But there's quite a few of them in there. Yeah. Unlike the NBA with a massive 10-game slate tonight, for whatever reason is tradition in hockey, we only have 3 games tonight. I did decide to bet 2 of them. The one I stayed away from is Avalanche and Coyotes. The Avs are like minus 1.5. It is minus 172, so no reason touching that game. We are going to go with the New York Islanders. Both these games are 6 o'clock starts, I believe, by the way. So the early slate, or 7 o'clock for you out east. Islanders minus 1.5 against the bottom feeding Columbus Blue Jackets. The Islanders are playing very good. They've won 3 in a row. They've scored 6, 4, and 7 goals in their 3 wins. They just beat Toronto 7-2. The earlier 2 wins were at Anaheim, at San Jose. Obviously not the best wins there, but an impressive win against Toronto a few nights ago at home. Columbus did beat Washington just recently 7-6 a couple nights ago in overtime, but prior to that had lost 7-2, 7-4, 4-1. So they're allowing a lot of goals as of late, and the Islanders are a team that not usually known for their goal scoring, but they are scoring a little bit more this year. They're just under 3 goals a game at 2.99. So if they're scoring a little bit better, they still play pretty good defense. Columbus is allowing a lot of goals. We're going to fade the Blue Jackets here down the stretch in favor of an Islanders team who's still competing for the wild card. They have the first wild card slot in the East right now, but it's a pretty tight race between them and a couple other teams. And then the New Jersey Devils, trying to find some value here. So I went with the same game parlay. We're going to take the Devils money line and over 6.5. Sabres overs have been quite the thing so far this year. They're allowing 3.73 goals per game. They're scoring 3.57. So usually their games consist of fireworks. Their last 5, they've lost 7-3, 7-0, 5-2, 5-4. The Devils aren't playing all that well. They've lost 4 of 5, but they did just win 5-2 against the Lightning a couple nights ago. 2 of those losses in the 4 of 5 have been in shootouts. So, I mean, tough to really gauge a shootout loss there because it's not really real hockey. The Devils also competing for a division title. They're only 2 points behind Carolina. And they have the Rangers kind of nipping at their heels. So this is, I don't want to call it a must win, but down the stretch here with only, I think, 11 games, 10 games or so left for them. Pretty big spot and a pretty easy 2 points that they should go out and grab. So we're going to take the over there because Devils can score, Sabres score, and allow a lot, and take the Devils to win there on the road. Same game parlay plus 159.
I like it.
The Devils.
We're the Devils.
The Devils.
I don't know. Yeah, my team lost in a shootout. I like what you said.
You're Wilder. It counts, but like
count.
It's not real hockey. It's fun, and I like that they do it during the regular season, but it's not real hockey.
No, it's not real hockey.
Your Wild are playing pretty well lately, Andy.
I think it should be just the 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 hockey all the time. I want to see like 14, 15 goals per team. That would be super
it is
fun.
Those 5-minute overtimes with the 3-on-3 are a ton of fun because it is just teams 6 to 8 best players taking turns and just trading chance after chance. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Just hammering the the goalies have to fucking.
Oh yeah, it's got to be awful for them.
Yeah, and yeah, big one for Quinnipiac tonight, out in the whatever region they're playing in. Yeah. I'm guessing.
Dan said they're playing in Bridgeport tonight.
Oh, Bridgeport! It is in Bridgeport, and the Gophers are up in Fargo. So not too far from home. Go Gophers.
You gonna watch that game, Andy?
Maybe. I hate the Huskies, like the hated in-state rivals. You got to beat your in-state rivals. That's important. And
I love how you're more likely to watch a college hockey game than a pro hockey game. That does make me laugh.
It's more pure.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's true. That's more Minnesota though. The fact that you do want to watch the college hockey.
They haven't forgotten.
Like you said, college
hockey.
They haven't forgot what the game's about, Matt. You know, it's still pure. So
you're still going to high school games.
Half those guys are on half those guys are drafted already anyway. I mean, they're on teams, guys. So they are pros. All right, back to sports.
Tennis.
That I might watch
tennis next.
This is afternoon too. This is gonna line up nicely for me as well because I want to just not do anything later this afternoon. I have some writing I want to do, but I like to have sports on while I'm writing. So the Indian Wells, Miami is such a nice stretch for that as well, too. Just all the afternoon tennis you can put on the other one. So, all right, what do we got down in Miami? I'm starting rapping there. The
I was kind of hoping.
The old Will Smith song. That doesn't
Let's hear it, Andy.
It's not rap.
Give us a verse.
It's not rap. It just, I don't remember the Spanish part of it. It's going to Miami, and then it's like
Bienvenidos a Miami.
Bienvenidos a Miami in a girl's voice.
Party in the city where the heat is on.
Yes, we are headed to Miami. We have a member of
night
tennis
till the break of dawn.
A member of tennis, or get the bleep out, is down there watching. We got boots on the ground, so we're getting a little insider information on who else is in the stands. He's just taking pictures of people in the boxes rather than on the court, but we're going to gamble, though. Let's gamble a little.
Just a couple plays here this afternoon. Again, should be a fantastic afternoon of tennis. Zachary Andreescu starts here shortly after the show. Make sure you get a chance to watch some of that. That should be a really fun match. As I flip through some of the other ones, Vondrasova, Kudermetova, that's going to be an awesome match. So, yeah, Andy, while you're sitting working on your stuff, you've got plenty of great tennis to watch. And just 2 bets here. Going back to the well with some of these first set overs. Again, not really any money lines or full match totals that I liked. It's kind of a tough day. There's a lot of big favorites, but all those numbers look pretty close to right to me. But we'll start here with Sofia Kenin playing against Angelina Kalinina. Should just be an absolute war of a match. And I don't know how high the talent level is going to be or what the quality is like, but this should just be an absolute slog. I think this first set, again, I'm going to try to find a way to stack this thing up. 7-5, 7-6, all that good stuff. Looks like it's in play here and what should just be, again, a very long match. And where I look, the total is 22. It's starting to settle around 22.5, but you could still get this over 9.5 at less than standard juice. It just, the math doesn't make any sense to me. And I look at the profile of the match. This looks like a really nice number to me, especially at better than standard juice. I had this closer to 10, honestly. So we'll happily grab that. And then Caroline Garcia, Sorona Kirstea. Kirstea has been nice for us this year. Always fun to bet her. Is a big dog. Thought about maybe doing that, but the price here it's just not what I was looking for. She's right around plus 200. I was hoping for a little bit better than that. That's actually just about where I have it. But again, I look at this first set total here. The total sitting at 22. Looks like it won't head to 22.5. So, not quite as good as that first one, but the price is better. It's plus 100. Again, I'm going to try to find a way to stack this up 7-5, 7-6. I think there's a great chance we see a tiebreaker in either of these matches, if not both. So, 2 first set overs for us this afternoon. And both of those a little bit later in the afternoon. You don't have to rush and put those in now. The Kenan Kalinina match should be around 2 p.m. Eastern. Garcia Kirste right around 3:30.
Going to Miami. Yeah, those. I know some Spanish. Honestly, true story though. True story. The last time I was in Miami, my wife picked a hotel that wasn't in like the resort area. And I'm trying to say this nice, where it's like it wasn't in the area where she thought it was going to be in. Like it was much deeper into Little Havana than she thought we were staying, which is interesting from just oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Good from a food perspective.
Yeah, but that's what I was getting. Like we went to a restaurant that was like, holy shit, I would eat here every day for the rest of my life kind of place. It was awesome. You had like the countertop where like construction workers are sitting and eating sandwiches, and like the waitress spoke zero English. We had to point at things. It was a fucking really good sandwich. So always excited to get back to Miami, if nothing else, but to eat at that place again.
It's one of the most underrated parts of Miami. I've been a couple times now, and one of my favorite things to do is just to wander into a random shopping center and pick whatever a restaurant is that looks like they spent the least time doing anything but making food. Like I had great Guatemalan food, great Ecuadorian food. Like you said, Cuban food is everywhere. It's spectacular. I don't know how those people stay so skinny.
Yeah, what's the island off of Cancun called? Isla Mujeres. All right, so there's if you go to Cancun,
Rick Majerus's cousin.
I think it's mother cousin. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this. So anyway, another quick food story from I almost said Spain, Mexico, but we went to Cancun, whatever, for a week, and apparently you should go out to this island, and the resort we were staying at had a resort out there, so you could use your all-inclusive worked on that one too. So fuck it, let's go to this island. And there's a shopping area, like a real local shopping, a lot of small vendors, little shops and stuff. And I picked up some Spanish here and there. So I was trying it out, and I found like a real Mexican Coke. I wanted the glass bottle. It looked really cool. And I couldn't make sense of all the writing, the tags and shit. So I tried to ask, is this Coke, how much does this Coke cost? And I said, does this Coke cost this amount? And I was reading the number off a tag, and I screwed it up somehow. And then she said something to me, and I said something back, and then I realized, like, oh, we're haggling. Like, we're haggling over the price of this Coke right now. Like, that's what she thinks I'm doing. She doesn't think I'm asking a question. We are negotiating for the price of this soda at this point.
Did you win the negotiation?
I feel like I made out okay because she was a lot more experienced than me. I also bought a hammock there, so kind of a big day.
Yeah, nice soda,
nice little rope hammock to carry around for the rest.
Big day for Andy.
Big day for me. So shout out to that lady and that shop on Isla Mujeres.
She's probably watching.
I would think so. And shout out to College Hockey. Shout out to you guys. Hit some thumbs up. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging. Have some fun this week and enjoy the Final Four the Sweet 16 / Elite 8.
There you go.
Enjoy Miami. Enjoy everything else. Enjoy the NBA. Enjoy yourself. It's over. Enjoy yourself. That song should be in my head now too. So see you guys.